The OnePlus 6T has arrived, and for the first time ever, there's a slight bit of confusion around the new OnePlus flagship. Maybe it's due to the price, maybe it's due to some of the changes, but a lot of people are confused whether they should buy the OnePlus 6T or not. Well, let's answer that. This is Rupesh from Beebom.com, and this is a OnePlus 6T review. Okay, so as I mentioned in our first impressions video, most of the major changes when it comes to design and build are reserved for the front. So let's get right to the point. Yes, there's a brand new teardrop notch, dewdrop notch, or whatever you'd like to call it in the OnePlus 6T. And coming from the OnePlus 6, the experience with this new notch is just better. And that's because it's definitely way less intrusive, be it while watching videos, playing games, or even usual day-to-day usage. I also like how this notch looks really, and it just gives the OnePlus 6T a very cool look from the front. And it's also because the chin is now even smaller. Well, I definitely like this new notch on the OnePlus 6T, but there's one trade-off due to this, and that's the missing notification LED. Look, I would have been okay with it had there been an always-on display here, but it's not, and even though there is an ambient display, that really doesn't cut it for me. There's also no headphone jack here, and while that's sad, it results in these dual grills on the bottom, which definitely look good. But only one of these grills is actually a speaker. And that's the only speaker here, because like most other OnePlus flagships of the past, the OnePlus 6T does not come with stereo speakers, which is something a lot of fans have been wanting for so long now. So to be honest, it's a little disappointing. Anyway, coming back to the front, the OnePlus 6T, as we all know, has the new in-display fingerprint scanner, which I wasn't too sure about because of in-display fingerprint scanners I've used in the past. But after using the fingerprint scanner on the OnePlus 6T extensively, I can say that it's good enough. Sure, the registration process is long and tiring, but once you get past that, the fingerprint scanner here is fast, mostly accurate, and unlike other smartphones with in-display scanners, using it does not get annoying. And if you're wondering about the wallpaper gate we told you about in our first impressions, well, that's still there. Yes, the in-display fingerprint scanner on the OnePlus 6T just slows down a bit when using any third-party wallpaper. It's not a deal breaker, but this is a slightly annoying issue, and I really hope OnePlus fixes it. Having said that, there's always super fast face unlock here in case you don't like the in-screen fingerprint scanner. Apart from that, the OnePlus 6T, like the OnePlus 6, is daily water resistant. Yes, there's still no IP rating, but I guess we'll have to make do with that. Also like the OnePlus 6, the OnePlus 6T is a premium smartphone. It looks great and feels great in the hands too. Yes, it's a little heavier than the OnePlus 6 and a little thicker, but this time around it has a 3700 mAh battery, so I don't really care about a little heft. And well, the battery life here is just amazing. In my usual day-to-day usage, the 6T easily lasted me for 1.5 days with a screen on time of almost 3 hours. With heavy use, which included me watching an absolute ton of HD videos on YouTube and playing several games of Asphalt 9 and PUBG, the phone easily lasted me a day with a screen on time just shy of 10 hours and 30 minutes. So yes, the battery life on the OnePlus 6T is definitely one of its impressive features. And what makes it even better is the fact that the OnePlus 6T takes just 1 hour and 15 minutes to go from 10 to 100%, which is the exact same time the OnePlus 6 takes to fully charge. And the 6 has a 3300 mAh battery. So the 6T is just really impressive when it comes to battery and charging. Another thing that's really impressive on the OnePlus 6T is the display. It's still a Full HD display, but it's really vibrant, the colors pop, the brightness is great, the sunlight visibility is on point, basically all AMOLED traits. So overall, it's just a really nice display. Plus with Gorilla Glass 6, you get better drop protection, and that's always nice to have. Moving on to the cameras, we all know that the 6T has the same specs as the OnePlus 6, so there's not really a huge improvement here. Anyway, check out some camera samples. So as you can see in these photos, like the OnePlus 6, the 6T takes some great photos with good colors and details, especially in good lighting. But like the 6, the 6T too does get inconsistent at times and has some focusing issues in low light. However, the photos here are still fairly decent for the price of the OnePlus 6T. Plus, I did notice slight improvements from the 6 in some photos, so that's good. There's also the portrait mode, which is also a little improved from the OnePlus 6. While some of the photos have the same face smoothing issues that all of the OnePlus phones have had, the edge detection on the 6T just seems a little better. When compared to the likes of the Poco F1 and the Pixel 2, the 6T manages to beat the F1 in most photos. But yeah, it's no match against the Pixel 2. There's also the new Nightscape feature, which takes a few seconds of exposure to capture better nighttime photos. Well, it works, but only sometimes. For example, in this photo, you can see that it has worked well enough. But in most of the photos, you'll notice that Nightscape just does not focus properly. So yeah, it's not something I'll be using. Also, if you're wondering how it fares against the Pixel 3's night side, well, take a look. Well, I think this comparison says it all. On the video front, nothing really has changed and it's the same setup as the OnePlus 6 and well, the results are the same too. Video shot in 4K at 60 FPS look nice enough with good details and sharpness, but the stability here leaves a lot to be desired. The 1080p videos are much more stable, so you can always shoot in that. When it comes to selfies, there's no changes in the specs here as well, but I have noticed some improvements here when compared to the OnePlus 6. Just look at these selfies. The OnePlus 6T just takes sharper and more color accurate selfies than the OnePlus 6, even in the portrait mode, and I definitely like that. Overall, the cameras on the OnePlus 6T are definitely great even though the specs remain the same. I mean, it's not the best camera phone out there and it does not compete with flagships well. It's still great for its price. Moving on, another area where the specs haven't changed is the processor and the RAM. But that's not a problem because the Snapdragon 845 is still a flagship processor and it shows on the OnePlus 6T. Be it regular day-to-day tasks or intensive apps or games, the OnePlus 6T manages to handle them all with perfect ease. And that's not a surprise really given the track record of OnePlus phones. The OnePlus 6T is just a lag-free phone and that's also due to the great software experience that Oxygen OS brings. It's the same Oxygen OS we have come to love. There's no bloatware and you get all the features you need. When it comes to all the new stuff, there's a new Smart Boost feature which is set to improve app launch speeds by 5 to 20%. Right now, this tech is currently applied to some games only, but I haven't really noticed any difference when launching games like PUBG or Asphalt 9. And with no information on which games are supported, I'm not sure how we can analyze the difference it makes. Apart from that, there's a new gesture here to switch between apps, so that's cool. And there are a bunch of new Easter eggs. Overall, Oxygen OS is great, and lately OnePlus has started delivering timely updates, and that's definitely a plus. Well, that pretty much rounds up our review of the OnePlus 6T, and the OnePlus 6T's price has started at ₹37,999, which is ₹3,000 more than the OnePlus 6. So yes, the OnePlus flagship has got pricier, which brings us to the most important question. Should you buy the OnePlus 6T? Well, if you're a OnePlus 6 user, you shouldn't consider going for the OnePlus 6T because it's just not a huge upgrade. For everyone else, the OnePlus 6T is a great smartphone to buy. I know, it's pricier, which is a little disappointing. The cameras are pretty much the same as the OnePlus 6. There's no headphone jack, no wireless charging, no stereo speakers or even an IP rating. But even with all that, the OnePlus 6T is still a great value proposition. With its premium looks, trendy features like the new notch and in-display fingerprint scanner, flagship grade performance and some great battery life. Coming to the competition, there are some interesting phones here. Firstly, if you're on a budget and you want the same specs as the OnePlus 6T, you can go for the Poco F1, which isn't as premium looking but brings a ton of features to the table. If you want the best cameras in this price, there's the Pixel 2 XL, which right now is available at around ₹40,000, which is really a great price for the camera beast. Lastly, if you want features like a QHD display, IP68 rating, a wide-angle camera and a great speaker, the LG G7 ThinQ is available at ₹29,999, although it comes with a modest 3000 mAh battery and LG ZOI, which isn't something I like. So yes, there's a lot of competition, but if you ask me, the OnePlus 6T is the best all-round budget flagship out there with just the perfect combination of looks, features and performance. So yes, the OnePlus 6T is a phone I will recommend. Well, that was our review of the OnePlus 6T, and if you have any more doubts or questions around the OnePlus 6T, make sure to comment below and we'll answer as many questions as we can for the first hour once the video goes live. So comment below. Also give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and share it with your friends who are planning to buy the OnePlus 6T. Lastly, subscribe to our channel for more amazing tech videos. Well, that's me signing off. Thanks for watching and I will see you in the next one.